Uh, so this video, I'll be talking about a very important thing about experience cloud user licenses. Why I'm saying it is important because this is the most important thing for an architect or for a person who will be deciding what kind of licenses you should take. And this page of Salesforce will explain you like what are the different limits of licensing and what are the considerations. So I would go to this page in a very brief, not in a brief, I would say detailed perspective. So we'll be reading up this line just to have your sense. So, it's a kind of, if you don't want to read, you can just listen this video and I'm going to explain you that. Okay. So how many kind of licenses do we have in Experience Cloud? That's the first thing we all should have in mind. We have around mostly five types of licenses. The one is external apps, second is customer community, third is customer community plus, fourth is partner community, and fifth is channel account. When to use? What is the difference? It's been written over here very, very precisely and concisely. Like external apps is something, it's a high volume. The first important thing is what is high volume and what is non-high volume. So high volume is like you have a lot of users in Salesforce org, like millions of customers, 100 millions of customers. So customer community and external apps, these two licenses are being the high volume customer portal licenses. And when I say high volume, that means they don't have a role. Basically, if you have a high volume license, that means those users will not have role. And the reason for that is if you have a lot of users having role, then Salesforce performance would be degraded, and that's why these high volume users will not have roles, such that you have a better performance in Salesforce. So external apps is a kind of you can use with external stakeholders or brand engagement, or it has a limited access to CRM objects, but can be used with personal accounts. Okay. Then customer community is something, when the customer comes in and then, large number of external users who are probably a customer and want to have access to accounts, contacts, case, or knowledge, then yes, we can go for customer community. It's another high volume, user license. Now, customer community plus, this is not high volume. So I would say this will be having a role. And when we use this particular license, I would recommend, or Salesforce would recommend that not use millions of, users for it. I would say if you have millions of million users, then go for customer community unless and until you have a specific needs of reports and dashboards or a specific need which cannot be fulfilled in customer community, then you can go for community plus. But customer community is better in terms of performance. So for customer community plus, they mostly come with business to consumer, like as well as it comes with business to consumer, and but the consumers who need the access to reports and dashboards need the advanced sharing. Like the moment you have a role comes in, then you can have a role level hierarchy. Then you can have sharing roles. Those things can comes up, and you can utilize them in the customer community plus license. Then partner community is like a kind of when you have different partners who can help you out to grow a business. When you have a partner, you might need to have access to leads, opportunities, campaign objects, because for customer should not have the access to opportunities or leads, but as a partner, you should know a partner should have access to leads or opportunities from the organization where they can convert those leads or opportunities to different accounts. So partner community has a plus of opportunities and leads, and it is a similar kind of community plus license which having a role and can have multiple roles, and can have reports and dashboards as well. Then channel account would be a kind of a different license when you can have licenses based on the accounts instead of users. Like that I have 100, 10,000, or 50,000 what do you call accounts who needs a license. So it's basically these four licenses are mostly based on the users, but this particular license, based on instead of partner. is based on number of partners instead of number of individual users. So this particular license would be used when you want to have the license for records instead of users. So basically, that's a different kind of basically license type. So I hope you understand this perspective of these licenses. With them, I think Salesforce provide the login-based license as well. I think that should be covered. Okay, what are the login-based licenses? Here you go. So each license is corresponding to a one login base. I think in the end it is just appending a login. I think what a login means is so right now these are the user-based licenses. So let's say example, if we have 1,000 users, you want a license. They're probably using your system day in and day out. I would say use this. But let's say example, you have 1,000 users and you feel like okay, out of these 1,000 users, probably 100 or 200 users will probably log in a month or log in a week, and there's a very less utility of you. There will be less utilization from a user perspective. Then I would say we should use the login license because that login license would work based on the number of logins. It will not be like number of logins in a one day. For example, if you have a day and a particular user login 10 times, but that license would be only counted as one because it's per day. In a single day, basically, this type of login is referred to as a daily unique login. So basically, if we have a user who logged in 30 times in 3 days over a month, then the count would be 3, not 30, right? Because he had logged in a unique 3 days. Okay. So it depends upon your business process. It depends upon what is your business need. But yes, Salesforce provides a different way of, you know, charging you based on login based on user based. External apps, partner community, community plus, all those 5 licenses, whatever I explain you, all these all these 5 licenses as corresponding login based license. Channel account is, it's not a user one. So what do you think about how do you think the channel account login would come up? So basically it's a partner thing, right? So let's say example, you have 1,000 partners for your organization and 1,000 partners have 1,000 accounts. And now you think about you need 1,000 licenses because all these partners are logging in day out. So probably, you would consider the channel account. And when I say partners are logging in, logging out, that means it doesn't mean partner. Partner is like an account, you have the contacts below that account. So basically, you will be having what you call login from those contacts. So probably, whenever you have, let's say example, you have 10 different channel accounts and then you have 100 contacts, 10 each account. Then if one of the contacts is logging in, then that means that the channel account has been utilized. So if just see that if there are channel accounts where you don't where the none of the contacts are logging in, so in that case you can use channel accounts. um the ratio of the ratio between the number of monthly login purchased over the number of login days that are provisioned in your org is 1 is to 20. The meaning is, for example, if you purchase 1,000 monthly logins, then 20,000 login licenses are provisioned in your org. So basically, let's say example, you have to purchase it, right? So for example, Salesforce generally do the billing yearly. Let's say example, you had tell to your Salesforce account executive, hey, I probably have 1,000 monthly logins, and I would pay for 12,000 monthly logins for a year. What Salesforce will do is Salesforce will provision you for 20,000 login licenses per month. Okay, and that what does that mean is if you assign more than 20,000, what does that mean is like if you have more than 1,000, Salesforce will be able to take care of it. But if it is more than 20,000, Salesforce will not be able to take care of it. Okay. If you want to assign more than 20,000 login licenses, purchase more logins. Why this is a large ratio? Because we just want to make sure that you have enough licenses to assign all the login base you potentially could. Okay. The timeout period for our session is configured up to maximum of 24 hours. So you can have a session which can be of max of 24 hours. So that's how the limits are. How are the login average career? I just told you in a 12-month period time because Salesforce generally do a yearly billing. So Entitlement roll over from month to month. If you purchase 1,000 monthly logins, you're entitled for 12,000 annual logins. In 2017, we introduced the concept of daily logins and picking off this one. So basically, they can roll over. So let's say example, if you purchase 12,000 logins, annual logins, so it's not like that every month you have to use 1,000 monthly logins. If you use 500 monthly logins in a first month, then you have not 11,000 left, you have 11,500 left out. Okay. How can you monitor your login consumptions? You can go to manage users and set up an entity, and then you can see the login information. I can quickly show you how it looks like. You go to setup and go to company information where you have most of the information about logins. So here you go, kind of lightning external labs daily logins and couple of other things. Customer community license login, external apps login. So this is how it is. It is like 20. I had not used zero. I had not used anyone. So it's zero and zero. But yeah, you can see how much has been used from this website. Okay. Now there are a couple of usage-based entitlement resource. So customer community logins is like the number of logins consumed by external users with a customer community login license in current period. Power customer community license is something the number of logins by external users with the customer community plus. So customer community login is for customer community, but power customer community is like, you know, the customer community plus. You know, they can term it as customer community plus login as well, but they are treating it as power customer community logins and partner community logins, external app logins, customer community daily unit logins. All those limits are being present. So is an extra license required for experience builder? No, I don't think so. Community based on external create an extra permissions have full experience. So basically, I don't think so. There's an extra license required for experience builder because if you want to use experience builder, then you need to have Salesforce license instead of having these licenses over here. So do we have a limits on the users or role limits over here? So yes. For partner community, channel accounts, and customer community plus, like the top three things which are having roles, you can have max of 1 million. So why it is one plus? Probably if you talk to your Salesforce account executive, it can be increased, but I think the limit of number of users for partner community, channel account, or customer community plus is 1 million. There's the other thing is the same thing with the account role optimization, 10 million plus. So what is the account role optimization is? Because as I said you, this is more because of the roles, right? So account role optimization is a technique in Salesforce where you can optimize the roles. So what happens is when you create, let's say example, you are on a Costa community, right? Or you're a partner community. So let's say example, you created one account and that's a partner. So what happens is if you have only a single role associated, then you will have a one role created called, you know, let me show you that how it looks like because picture can speak up on more words. So let me go to this particular piece. So what happened is if I'm on Express Edge communication, so what I did is I had enabled this as a partner account. So what I'm doing is I'm going for the contact. Let's say example sales Bob. And this is the contact. So I enable this is a partner user. So if you see there's a partner user. So if I click on view partner user, because since it's a partner community, so if you see the role, there's the Edge communication partner manager, right? Why this is the role coming up is because if you see digital experience settings, I'd call this number of partner roles as two. So basically, what will happen is if I have a single partner and you have the users under the partner, then you can use two roles. One is the user and another is the manager. And we can have max three: user, manager, executive. So let's say example, you are on this. Let me go to the account again. You have these three contacts over here. So what it will happen is, let's say I'm Ruto Gonzalez. If I go to the view user details, then this is the partner user, and above the partner user, you can have the partner manager, and partner manager is Salesforce. So basically, this is the one account, and if you see the role name, that role name states Edge Communication, which is the account name. Now, if I go to a different account, let's say Express Logistic and Tele and Transport, and if you go to the contacts, Josh Davis, and if I see the view partner user, the role is present, but you see the account name is different because every account will have a different kind of role. So this role is specific for this partner, and anything which is under Josh Davis uh, can seen by the manager only for that account, not the other partners can see the information. Okay. So, but what it do the ARO? What it do? So this is a general partner. What is it? What it do the ARO is? So ARO is something. It's automatically been enabled nowadays after Spring 20 live. Yeah. So what it do is it doesn't create you. So if you have one role, if you for two roles it will not work. But if you have one role, then what will happen is that will give you a one personal role instead of having multiple roles for each account. In that case, if you don't have multiple roles for each account, that's called account role optimization. And then you can have maximum 10 million users. For customer community and external app, you can have max 100 million users. Plus is being written because you might can increase the number of users based on talking with your Salesforce account executive. So some community licenses such as customer community plus a partner community requires roles with an external user access. Role proliferation degrades performance of your org. So make sure you don't use more roles than necessary. The alpha number of role used in org community is 50,000. So basically, you can maximum use 50,000 roles in the community. And this limit includes role with all organization customer portals, partner portals, or community. So you can have maximum 50,000 external roles, which includes everything, right? And to prevent unnecessary growth of this number, we recommend reviewing and reducing the number of roles. If you're expecting a high volume of users, we recommend enable account role optimization. And if you see account role optimization, then this is this is the one setting which you will get on sharing settings if you want to enable it. So if you don't have the account role optimization enabled, then you go to sharing settings in organization and select this checkbox, and account role optimization will be automatically selected. Okay. Are guest users counted against my license? I think no, not at all, right? Guest users will not. What is the number of page users? If your guest users are there, then 500K views can be used of your page, and for unlimitations 1 million. But if it is more than 1 million, probably you can go up to max of 6 million page views in a course of an year, and averages will be carried with the annual limit. Now this is a good chart which will explain you like when to use what kind of license. So I will not go with the header, just remember these headers. So first is external app, second is customer community, then plus, then partner, then channel account. Okay. So account, contact, relationships. All the license will have it. Accounts will have it, asset will have it. So let's go with the things which everyone have it. Accounts, assets, contacts, contracts, documents, external objects, ideas, list views, orders, price books, products. All these things have been available in everything. And see, one common thing in all these objects are is these are common objects for your sales process. Whenever you define a sales process, like a kind of a sale to a customer, you definitely need an account and a contact. So if you're a customer, you might need a contact details for a customer, right? If you're a customer, then you might need to know what are the assets of this customer, right? If you're a customer, then you might need a contract, whatever the whatever the contacts we have or the contract we have. documents a customer can upload. You can have external objects, connected with it. Then ideas, a customer can submit ideas, list views, orders, price book, and products. Okay, all these things are being present and everything. So you can just write it down. Now, coming thing is, now let's understand what is not in external apps. Okay, but have everything in all the customer community plus and partner community and everything. The first thing is cases. So when you have external apps, you'll not have cases. The first and important thing. So if you need access to cases, then you cannot use external apps and you have to go to customer community plus partner or channel account. Okay. Then entitlements, cases, entitlements, all is coming up with the service things. So cases, entitlements, events and calendars, notes and attachments, return orders, CMS, service appointment, work order line items. If you see a common pattern on this, is these are mostly service kind of objects. You know, so let me show you. Cases is a kind of a service object where why the service object is required because when a customer comes in, he might need to add up a case. He might need to create a case. But external apps will not be using it where you can use customer and all those things. So cases and entitlement, which are very much related to cases, a service kind of object. Events and calendars are not the service kind of object, but yes, external apps are not being external apps cannot use this and can be used by other, you know, licenses. The notes and attachments can be used by the others, but not by external apps. Return orders, almost service, Salesforce CMS starter, service appointments, work order line items are being mostly from service objects. Now coming to what we don't have in customer community, which you will get in customer community plus. Okay, so let's go with that details. The first thing is dashboards. So if you have a customer community license and if you need a dashboard, then you cannot use that. You might need to go for a customer community plus. So dashboard is the one thing which has not been present, and then reports. So reports and dashboard is a one common thing which you will not get in customer community, but you will get in customer community plus. So if you want reports and dashboard feature as well, then you need to customer community plus. Otherwise, all the other things can be done with customer community. But if you have a requirement coming for reports and dashboards, then you need to switch to customer community plus for those users. Now coming to understand what we don't have in customer community plus, and you have to search for partner. Okay. So partners are the users who will be running and selling your business, right? So for selling, I think campaign leads opportunities are very predefined thing. So campaigns is an object which will not be available in customer communities. It will be only available with partners. Then I see leads, as I said, I have stated, lead is an object which will go in partners, opportunities, codes. Yeah, code is another object which will be only available for partners. That's it. So four objects, codes, leads, opportunities, and campaigns will be available for partners, but not for customer community plus. Okay. Now coming back to the partner community, what do we have in partner community and what we don't have where we have to move it to channel account license. I hope everything should be same, but let's see if there's anything which we don't have in partner but in channel. No, everything is license. So you can have basically the license types are different. The one is the user base and there's a number of partner base. So permissions would be same. It all depends upon how do you want to procure, you know, your licenses and what is a business model. Okay. Now coming up to the data, how much data you can store, how much extra data can store, how much API callouts you can do per day. If a charter is available, custom objects is available, delegate administration, all these features are coming in. So If you have a specific requirement for like chatter, then you need to think about something, you know. So extra data storage. So 10 MB per user, you will get it. You know, so if you purchase 100 external app licenses, then you'll get 1000 MB as a limit for data storage. For customer community, we don't have it. For customer community plus, 2 MB and 1 MB per login base. And for partner, I think 5 MB per user and 1 MB per login base. When purchased with external apps, it's 45 MB per user and 20 MB per login base on similar limits. What it tells you, the thought process it tells you is, first of all, you will not get any limits for customer community. That's a one thing, right? Second thing is you'll get extra storage. This storage, I don't think so would be very much what you called important for your understanding towards licenses, but yes, it's good to know. You'll get the API callouts per day as well because you're using community, so probably you have to do the callouts as well. So for external apps, you're having 200 calls per 400 calls and same thing. But over here for customer community plus, you have only 10 calls. Why we have 400 calls? Because you're external apps. You're probably using the external system, so that's why this calls is more, right? Now coming to Charter is available for all these five different licenses. Custom objects have been available for all these things because it's external lab. That's why the custom objects are more external than compared to other ones. Delegated administration. That's important thing. You will not get in high volume licenses. You will get only on customer, community plus, or partner or channel account. Market development funds, roles and advanced sharing. You will get in the roles when you get a role. Sharing sets. You will get it. Salesforce app as a mobile app. You will get it. Send email functionality. You will get it. Territory management. You will get only for partners. Badges you'll get for everyone. Workflow approvals you'll get for everyone. Very important statistics, guys. You need to keep an eye on it because whenever you are giving experience class certification or CT exam, these are the common things which comes in a scenario, and then you to decide what kind of license you need to. Because sometimes you have a scenario, okay, I have 1,000 millions. I have one organization, Universal Containers, who wants to onboard 20,000 customers who want reports and dashboards, and probably 1 million customers who wants reports and dashboard. Then you cannot say that we need customer community license because they are looking for reports and dashboard. That means they need what you called customer community plus license. You know, similar a chart can come up, probably delegate administration, or they want role advance, or they want to send an email. You know, very common thing which has not been available in customer community. So if they want to send an email, then you have to find out these particular things. So very much important to understand it and to learn it, to grab it, because these are very small things which we generally forget but comes up in our examinations. So there are a couple of bullet points over here. So I will not go through all these bullet points, but I will go on a high level. Okay. So you're expecting a high volume, then enable ARO. From Spring 2022, ARO is already enabled, so you don't have to enable it. Okay. But if you are below Spring 22, then you need to enable it. Okay. External app licenses can be a variety of SKUs, depends upon commerce, portkey, and all those things. So that's additional functionality. So to view or create relationship with account or contact, you must have a read account. So to edit or delete relationship, you must have edit contacts. Okay. So I will not go through all these things. The one important thing, customer contact license users cannot add invitees to the calendar events, and customer community plus users cannot add invitees to the calendar events. So if you want to add the invitees and you cannot use them, bullet point coming in. If you need to create reports, then you need these permissions, and report creation is available only for this particular template, I would say. Okay. So these are the common things which are been coming up in this license. I just go over this page because It's good to have a video just to, if you're walking or if you're, you know, doing something which cannot help, in which way you cannot see the article or read the article. So video can help you out to understand what are the different license limits. Okay, thank you. Stay tuned. We'll come up with more videos.